Hello and welcome to the ScrapbookPal YouTube channel. This is Colleen Beamish from Humor Bean Cards, and today I am using the Honeybee Stamps Lovely Layers Coat Die Set. I'm going to be using this set to create a holiday ornament or a gift tag or a little accessory for a card. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, when I first looked at this set, I had no idea of how to put it together, but Honeybee Stamps does have a very convenient layering guide on their website. So if you go to honeybeestamps.com and you search for this Lovely Layers coat set, you will see the option to download a PDF, and that will walk you through exactly how to put this together. Or you can save this video and refer back to it because I'm about to show you exactly how to put this coat together. Now, Honeybee Stamps has this set, and they also have an add-on set, which I don't have today, but if you wanted to jazz up this coat even more or have some other options, that is available. I went ahead and die cut out all of the pieces from this set in various colors of cardstock. So I have two different shades of red. I have brown for the belt, gold for the belt buckle, and then some white cardstock for the collar and cuffs. Now, the first step is to fold the little tabs that are die cut when you cut out the front sides of the coat. They are scored, so it's really easy to just fold those over, but you can definitely reinforce that fold with a bone folder if you feel it's necessary. Now, this back piece is the kind of the inside of the coat, and I'm going to be gluing these front tabs right behind the coat. So I'm taking my liquid glue, I'm using Barely Art Precision Craft Glue, and just putting glue on the inside of the folded tab. So only on the tab itself. I want to make sure this isn't glue that isn't going anywhere else. And that's what's great about the Barely Art glue, is that it has that precision tip nozzle, so it gives you a lot more control over where the glue is going. So I'm just going to fold this over the background coat piece there, and the bottom of the pieces line up perfectly, so that's how you know that it's lined up, and I'm just going to hold that until the glue has a chance to dry. I should mention also that all of the products I'm using in today's video are available at ScrapbookPal.com, so it's your one-stop shop. So everything's linked down in the description below. So I'm just repeating those steps for this other side of the coat. So again, glue on the inner tabs, and then I'm going to line it up behind. It's important that you do the right side before you do the left side, because the left side has that collar piece at the top, and all of the other pieces of the coat are going to stick down onto that, and you need that to be the kind of the top piece, and it allows everything to line up properly. So the collar has this main background piece, which the white collar will then be glued over top. So I'm just putting glue on the coat itself, and I'll adhere that down. Now, when I first adhere it down, I actually don't line it up correctly, but I did figure out that the easiest way to do it is so that the point of that triangle at the bottom of the collar should line up with the center line of the folded tabs. So here you see that line is going right up the center to the top of that triangle that's cut out. And now I'm going to adhere the white collar right over top. So this is the easiest part. It lines up perfectly, and then you can definitely start to see that this is a coat. This is kind of when it first starts coming together. So I'll let the glue dry, and then I will add the buttons of my coat. So again, it's important here where you're putting glue. The glue should only be on the left side of the coat, because you're going to want your coat to be able to open and close. So you definitely don't want to glue the buttons right over top of both sides, and you want it to be on the left side where the collar is attached as well. Now, if you didn't want your coat to open and close, you could glue this all shut and it wouldn't matter as much. But if you do want to have that interactive element, the buttons need to be on the left side. So I'm just gluing those down. I'm using my Pinkfresh Studio embellishment tool, and that's just going to allow me to pick up those little dots very easily. Now onto the belt. So first I'm going to put the belt buckle onto the main piece of the belt. that is definitely something that can go on after, but I decided to do it first. Like I said before, this is cut out of some matte gold cardstock, and I'm just using my tweezers because that's such a small piece in order to get that lined up perfectly. Now my belt is ready to be adhered to the coat itself, so I'm going to do the right side first. This belt lines up perfectly on the coat. There's one spot where both edges are kind of the exact right angle and line up. So that's just what I'm paying attention to, is the outside edge of the coat and the inside edge of this side of the coat. And lining that up. And then when it comes to the other side of the belt, I'm just lining that up with the belt that I already glued down. Now here I'm making sure not to put glue on all the way across the belt to the other end because I don't want to glue the coat shut. So I did it halfway across, and then I'll take my glue, and it's especially useful to have the precision glue here because I'll just kind of tuck the precision tip right underneath that belt buckle and add glue where I want it. Not too much is needed, obviously, but that will allow me to glue the belt down without gluing my coat shut. So now the coat is nearly finished. I just have the largest background piece here, and I'm adhering the white cuffs to the sleeves. Now, something I learned as I was doing this was, one, the way to tell which way the cuffs go is that the bigger end should be at the bottom, and the pointier corner should line up at the bottom as well. So that will help you a little bit when you're trying to figure out which way the cuffs are supposed to go. Now, something else to note is that the bottom corner of the cuff, the bottom inner corner of each cuff, should line up with the very bottom line of the coat. So when I first adhere these down, they're not lined up correctly. See how I'm lining it up with that like kind of upper line just of the sleeve, but actually I want it to come down and have the corner of the coat match the corner of the cuff. So you'll see that in just a moment because I will kind of tear off that cuff that I just glued down and realign it. So see how that corner is lined up. So now I'll tear off the cuff that I already put down, and this does mess up the cardstock a little bit, but not enough to have to start over or anything. So I'm just gonna reapply my glue, then there you go. So now it's lined up correctly. So the final step is just to glue the entire front piece to this back piece. So I'm just putting glue all over the back of that piece that has the folded kind of door-like feature, and I'm just gonna line that up right on the larger background piece. The easiest way to do this is actually to flip it over. Once you kind of get it somewhat in the right spot, putting the bottom of the coat lined up with the bottom of the background piece, just flip it over and see that the collars are lined up, and then you're all set. So this is my first coat completed, and those are kind of the very basic steps to put this together. So I think this would be a great gift tag on a present. I would just put some tape on the back and write to and from on the inside, or you could also adhere this to the front of a card and have kind of an interactive component on your card front. Now that I showed you the basics of putting this coat together, I also wanted to show you how you could jazz this up a little bit to be a little bit more detailed and decorative. So coat number 2 is going to be pink, which is my preferred Christmas color, and I'm going to do the steps the same. So here I have the coat front, and I'm folding those tabs over, but then I'm going to go in with some ink and a ink blending brush, and I'm just going to put some ink around the edges, and this will just add a bit more depth and make it look a little bit more like it's real, if you will. So just going around the edges, and that will kind of add like a shadow. So I'm going around the edges both on the outside and at the bottom, and kind of coming up from the outer corner to add that depth. You don't need to put any on the middle. I mean, you definitely could, but I was kind of thinking as if the light was coming right from the center. So you're kind of thinking, where would the shadows be, and adding ink there. I'm just using an ink that is the same color as my cardstock. So you could do a couple shades darker, but you can do exactly the same color and it will add enough. And you can just keep layering it up until you're happy with it. So I did this on both sides of the front of the coat. And then I'm going to go and use the big background piece of my coat and do it there as well. So with the background, really only the areas that are the sleeves are going to show. So I attempted to do ink blending from the center outwards so that there's kind of a shadow that will come out from behind that the like interactive main piece of the coat. And then I'm also going to go around the edges of the sleeves. So right now I'm coming from the center outwards, which is a bit tricky to know exactly how far that will go. And then I'm coming from off of the piece of cardstock to color the edges. I didn't mention that I do have a Teflon mat down, and that is just allowing me to get those edges really easily and to spread the ink very smoothly. So I do that on both sides of this background piece. Now I've assembled the rest of the coat exactly like I did before, so the same exact steps, but now I'm adding a piece of ribbon in between the two layers. So I have this pretty white like sparkle ribbon, and I'm just folding that in half so that it's flat, and I'm taking some liquid glue and putting that right at the top of this background piece, and then I will glue my ribbon right to that. Now, because I folded the ribbon flat, that will allow me to put the front of the coat on without there being a big bulky piece. Now, you could also just punch a hole in the back layer of the coat, but just note that if this were to be an ornament on your tree and it were to spin around, you would see the hole in the back, but that may not be a problem for you. I just thought this would be a really simple way to add some ribbon in between the layers. So I'm just going to use my liquid glue to adhere the front of the coat right on top, lining it up like I did before. And you can see how that kind of secures the ribbon right in between the two layers and makes it so that the ribbon definitely will not be coming out or coming undone. So now that the assembly of the coat is all finished, I will go in and add some smaller details. So I have an N0 Copic marker here, and I'm just dotting that on the cuff of the coat as well as the collar. This is just to add some shadow as well as texture. So imagine that the cuffs and collar of the coat are a fur. Adding the little dots is just another way to add shadow. You could add straight lines or add some more Copic coloring, or even do some ink blending like we did on the front tabs of the coat as well. But I thought this would add a fun texture to it. Now, ideally, I would go in with a second color of Copic, so an N2, just a shade darker, but unfortunately my N2 marker was all dried up, so I let the N0 dry down just for a couple minutes, and then I came back in with that same color and added another layer of those dots, and that kind of creates a two-tone effect just because of the layering of the alcohol marker, but like I said, there are some other shading options for you. Now I'm taking a white gel pen and I'm just going to put a line across the bottom of the belt in the middle. This is to add a highlight as if it were a leather belt. The key to adding gel pen highlights is to always go where the color would actually be the darkest. So you're adding a highlight to the darkest shadow. So that's why I put it across the bottom of the belt as well as up the sides a little bit and then right in the middle of the buckle. I'll also add a white highlight to each of the buttons. Now I'm taking a Copic marker that's kind of a shade darker than my cardstock, and I'm just drawing a line around the inner portion of the collar just so that I can add some shadow there. This is definitely an unnecessary step, but I didn't want the line to be too harsh, so I'm also coming in with a colorless blender, and that will just blend it out a little bit and add kind of a bit of a shadow across the entire inner part there, and I think that just adds a bit of depth to the collar. Now my last addition is some sparkle, which I think you can never go wrong with at Christmas time. This is the Nuvo Glitter Gloss sparkle pen, and it just adds a really, really pretty shimmer wherever you apply it. So I'm just kind of brushing it on. So I do that on both of the cuffs as well as the collar, and then I add it to the buttons as well. Something I was thinking as I was doing this step was that, one, you could definitely add glitter all over the coat if you wanted to, but you could also add a pattern to the coat. So you could use Copic markers if you didn't use a pattern paper to add like a stripe or a polka dot all over the coat. I think there's a lot of options with this. So that is the front of the coat complete, but I just wanted to add one final touch on the inside, and I'm going to stamp the sentiment Merry Christmas. I have the Honeybee Stamps Simply Stated Holiday stamp set here, and the set is actually designed to all be stamped at once because it coordinates with a die set that cuts all the sentiments out all at one time. But I actually only wanted one sentiment from the set for this, so I actually used my scissors and just cut out that portion of the larger stamp. Now this won't mess up the integrity of the stamp at all. I'll be able to still line this up perfectly so that it works with the coordinating die, but I'm just putting this on an acrylic block, prepping it for ink, and then I'll go in with a dark gray ink that matches the belt on the coat. I'm just inking that up, and then I'm going to open up the coat and stamp it down. This step would definitely be easier before I glued everything together, just because the coat doesn't open up all the way very easily. It is doable, but if you're going to recreate this, I would recommend doing this step a little bit earlier in the process. But I'm just stamping Merry Christmas in the center, and then that is my Lovely Layers coat complete. So I think this is going to be a holiday ornament for me, but you could also use it as a gift tag still and just tie it to your present, or you could gift it to someone as an ornament, or use it on a card front still if you wanted to. Something I think it would be really great if you temporarily adhered it to a card, and then the recipient could take it off of the card and use it as they see fit as well. So there's a lot of options with this set, but that is a way to jazz up the Lovely Layers coat die. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe to the ScrapbookPal YouTube channel because there's always more crafty inspiration here all of the time. So I hope to see you again soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.